Why is this worker standing on a tower that's clearly shaking? Is this a construction accident? Of course not. What you're seeing is structural flexibility at work. Most people assume a wind turbine tower should stay perfectly still, but that's not how tall structures survive. A wind turbine tower can reach over 300 feet high. It's built in sections and bolted together with massive flanges. At the top sits a nacelle and blades weighing hundreds of tons. When strong wind pushes against it, the tower doesn't stay rigid, it bends by design. That controlled movement absorbs the load and prevents stress from concentrating in one spot. That's why slight swaying is not failure, it's protection. But here's what matters. The real danger isn't the tower moving, it's the connections and the workers up there. They clip into multiple anchors, because even a small gust feels stronger at that height. And wind turbines aren't indestructible. If the blades overspeed, centrifugal force can damage the system. So the next time you see a wind turbine swaying, you can stand there with confidence. It's not a sign of danger at all. Why are dual-clutch transmissions better for aggressive driving? The answer lies in its design. A dual-clutch gearbox isn't built for slow, hesitant driving, so if you barely press the gas pedal, it might not be for you. To see why, look at how it works. A dual-clutch transmission uses two clutches, like two manual gearboxes in one. One controls the odd gears, and the other controls the even gears. When you accelerate in first gear, the transmission has already prepared second gear. So when you shift from first to second, one clutch releases as the other engages, making the shift almost instant with barely any loss of power. So if dual-clutch transmissions are so advanced, why don't they work well in traffic? It comes down to how the clutches work. When you're creeping through traffic, they have to keep slipping, grabbing, and releasing just to keep the car moving. That creates heat and extra wear. So that's the trade-off. Dual-clutch transmissions deliver fast shifts and strong performance, but they work best when you drive decisively, not in slow traffic. So what would you choose? Performance or comfort? This guy used less than $100 to turn the side of his deck into a giant floating backyard hammock. And honestly, it looks way better than regular patio furniture. But before the net goes up, he has to make sure the deck can actually handle it. First, he removes a rotted post, beefs up the frame, and adds ledger boards along the house. Then he uses pressure-treated lumber, because regular wood would rot fast outside. Next, he cuts the lumber at a 35-degree angle, giving the frame that custom angled look. Then he runs a heavy 4x12 beam across the open side, so the net has something solid to pull against. Now comes the part that really matters. He pre-drills the holes and installs more than 80 stainless steel eye-screws around the frame. Sounds like overkill, but with a hammock this big, the weight has to spread evenly, or the whole thing can sag, twist, or pull loose. Once the anchors are in, he zip ties the net into place, then laces it by hand with a double lace pattern, skipping every other anchor on the first pass before tightening it all the way around. And just like that, the deck turns into a giant floating lounge. No expensive patio set, no huge renovation, just lumber, screws, rope, and one massive net. Would you trust this hanging off your deck? Why are German builders putting floor tiles on adjustable plastic pedestals? At first, it looks like they forgot the mortar, but watch what happens. Each tile drops onto 4 pedestal heads. The corners lock into the slots, the gaps stay even, and the tile doesn't do that annoying wobbly table thing. No mortar, no water, no waiting around for it to set. If one corner sits too low, they twist the pedestal up. If it sits too high, they twist it down. Piece by piece, they level the whole floor by hand. And yes, it's hollow underneath, but that doesn't mean it's weak. When you step on it, the weight spreads across the tile and transfers down into multiple supports. Now here's the smart part. That empty space underneath becomes a hidden service layer. Cables can run through it. Drainage pipes can sit below it. When rain hits, water slips through the gaps, drops under the tiles, and drains away instead of pooling on top. And if something breaks later, no jackhammer, no tearing up the whole patio. Just lift one tile, fix the pipe, cable, or support underneath, and drop it back in place. So this isn't just a floating floor. It's a floor you can level, drain, open, and repair anytime. Would you trust this under your patio? This guy is a genius. He used 600 GSM geotextile fabric, about 18 ounces per square yard, and just $28 worth of cement to turn this busted piece of ground into a road you can actually drive on. He mixes 1 bag of cement with 3 buckets of water until it turns into a thin slurry. Once the base is flat, he rolls out the geotextile fabric and spreads the cement slurry right over the top. He wets the fabric first, then pours the slurry over it, letting it soak through the fabric and into the base, locking everything together into a semi-rigid layer. As it sets, the surface starts to harden and level out. Then comes the part everybody is waiting for. He drives a three-wheeled utility cart over it just to see if it can hold up. No special test, just a simple drive-through. And somehow, it passes. No cracks, no sinking, no collapse. The dirt stops turning into soup, the wheels stop getting stuck, and that ugly muddy patch starts looking like a road you can actually use. No deep foundation, no rebar, no crew, just cheap materials doing way more than they should. So would you trust this on an American driveway?